The call came from inside his house. Have you ever felt the terrible freezing weight of absolute helplessness? Your heart races, your hands shake, and you realize that everything you love is in danger, but you cannot move. This is the story of David, an emergency night operator who worked at a small dispatch center hidden deep within a quiet, isolated northern valley. It was a dark and violently stormy Friday winter night. David sat completely alone in the silent room, staring at the flashing computer screens. The wind was howling outside, throwing heavy rain against the glass windows. At exactly 2 a.m, a sharp red light flashed on his main console. An incoming call. David put on his heavy black headset and pressed the green button. He expected a routine call about a fallen tree or a minor car accident on the slippery roads. Instead, the only sound he heard was a low, terrifying whisper mixed with deep, desperate childhood tears. A small girl was crying softly on the other end. "Please help me," the small voice whispered into the phone. "Someone is inside my house. I am hiding under the bed, and I can hear heavy footsteps coming up the wooden stairs right now. He has a flashlight. Please, mister, tell my daddy that I'm scared. Please tell him to come home." David felt a sudden wave of professional calm. He grabbed his black pen and opened the tracking system. "Stay very quiet, sweetheart," he said in a gentle voice. "You are being very brave. What is your name, and can you tell me your exact home address so I can send the police to you?" The girl let out a small, trembling breath. "My name is Lily Vance," she whispered through her tears, "and my house is at number 42 Oak Ridge Road." The pen dropped from David's hand, crashing onto the cold desk. His entire world instantly stopped spinning, and his blood turned to ice. That was his address. That was his house, located 40 minutes away through the flooded mountain roads. Lily was his 7-year-old daughter, who was supposed to be sleeping safely in her room. David was trapped in his chair, and a strange monster was walking through his own home. David's heart hammered violently against his chest. He looked at the massive security doors of the dispatch center. Because of the severe storm, the automated system had locked the entire building to protect the high-tech equipment. He could not leave his desk. He was completely trapped inside. He tried to call the local police department using his emergency radio line, but the main operator's voice came back filled with static. "David, we have a massive multi-car pileup on the main highway. Every single officer is out here in the storm. It will take at least 30 minutes to send anyone." David knew he was entirely on his own. He was 40 minutes away, and the police were 30 minutes away. The only thing connecting him to his terrified daughter was the thin black wire of his headset. He had to become her eyes, her ears, and her protector from a distance. He forced his voice to remain incredibly calm and gentle, swallowing his own terror. "Lily, listen to me very carefully," he whispered. "This is Daddy. I am right here with you on the phone, and I'm not going anywhere. I need you to be my bravest little soldier tonight, okay?" A tiny, trembling sob came through the speaker. "Daddy, is that really you? The bad man is standing right outside my bedroom door now. I can see the bright yellow light of his flashlight moving under the door. He's trying to turn the silver handle. Daddy, please help me." David's eyes raced across his computer monitors. He managed to log into his home's smart security system. The system was failing due to the heavy storm, but the kitchen camera suddenly flickered to life for a brief second. He saw a tall silhouette dressed in a heavy black jacket. The intruder was not searching for expensive jewelry or money. He was moving with a strange, chilling purpose, walking directly toward the stairs. David noticed something else on the screen that made his breath catch. The man was holding an old, faded photograph in his left hand. David stared at the blurry image on the security camera. The tall intruder dropped the old photograph onto the kitchen table before heading upstairs. Through the poor quality of the lens, David recognized the picture. It was an old military squad photo from over 10 years ago. A horrible realization crashed over him like a frozen wave. The man in the house was not a random thief looking for cash. He was someone from David's dark past, someone who knew exactly who lived there, and exactly what time David would be stuck working at the dispatch center. "Lily, my brave girl," David whispered urgently into the microphone, "the man is going to open your bedroom door soon. I need you to stay completely silent under the bed. Do not move, do not cough, and do not make a single sound. Hold your breath if you have to. Understand?" "I understand, Daddy," Lily whispered back, her voice shaking with pure terror. Through the headset, David could clearly hear the horrible, slow creak of the wooden bedroom door being pushed open. Heavy, wet boots stepped slowly onto the soft carpet of his daughter's room. The intruder was walking around the room, shining his bright flashlight across the walls. The yellow beam hit the closet, the small desk, and then began to sweep across the wooden floor toward the bed. David closed his eyes, praying silently in the empty dispatch room. Through the phone line, David heard the man stop walking. The heavy boots were standing right next to the edge of Lily's bed. The man let out a low, rough sigh. "I know you are hiding in here, little bird," the intruder said. His voice was deep, cold, and horribly familiar to David. David knew that voice. It was Marcus, an old squad mate he thought had died years ago in a terrible mission accident. Marcus blamed David for leaving him behind in the fire. Now he had returned from the dead to take away the only thing David loved in this world. David's blood ran cold as Marcus's deep voice echoed through the headset. He had to act instantly. "Marcus!" David shouted into the console, routing his emergency microphone through his home's smart living room speaker. "I'm looking at you right now on my cameras." The sound of David's loud voice downstairs caused Marcus to freeze in the bedroom. He turned his head toward the door, listening intently. "I know why you are here, Marcus," David continued through the speaker, trying to drag the monster away from his little girl. "Come downstairs and face me," David yelled, pretending he was already driving home. "Leave the child alone. This is between you and me. She has nothing to do with what happened in the fire 10 years ago." Marcus let out a dark, chilling laugh that shook David's soul. Marcus stepped away from the bed and walked slowly out of the bedroom. David heard his heavy boots heading back down the wooden stairs. "You left me to burn, David," Marcus whispered into the empty house. "Now it is your turn to feel the pain of losing everything." "Lily," David whispered into his headset with intense urgency. "The man is downstairs now. You must move right now. Crawl out from under the bed very quietly. I need you to go to the closet and grab the heavy metal flashlight on the shelf. Can you do that?" Lily moved quickly, her small bare feet making no sound on the floor. "I have it, Daddy," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Good girl." David said. Now, climb out of your bedroom window onto the large oak tree outside. Do not look down, just climb. Through the camera feed, David saw Marcus standing in the dark kitchen, realized he was being tricked by a phone line, and turned around with fury in his eyes. He began sprinting back toward the stairs. "He is coming back, Daddy," Lily cried out from the open window. "Climb, Lily, now!" David roared into the microphone. The young girl scrambled out of the window just as Marcus kicked her bedroom door open with a violent crash. He rushed to the open window, shining his yellow flashlight down into the dark, rainy night. The bright beam of light swept across the wet leaves of the oak tree. Lily was frozen against a thick branch, holding her breath as rain soaked her clothes. Marcus growled in frustration and began climbing out of the window onto the tree to catch her. "Lily, use the metal flashlight," David commanded with fierce authority. "Hit the branch next to him with all your strength." Lily didn't hesitate. She swung the heavy metal light, smashing a weak, rotting branch that Marcus was using for support. With a loud, sharp crack, the wood snapped. Marcus lost his grip, letting out a cry of shock as he fell through the branches, crashing heavily onto the muddy ground below. He lay there, groaning in pain, unable to move his injured leg in the dirt. Suddenly, bright blue and red lights illuminated the dark valley fog. The loud wail of police sirens finally echoed down Oak Ridge Road. The officers had arrived just in time. David fell back into his chair in the dispatch room, tears of pure relief flooding his eyes. "You did it, Lily. You are safe," David whispered, his voice cracking with emotion. Through the phone he could hear the gentle voices of the officers rescuing his daughter from the tree. His little girl had survived the most terrifying night of her life. If you were trapped 40 minutes away with only a phone line to save your own child from a monster from your past, would you have the calm strength to guide her? Or would panic take over your mind? Share your honest thoughts in the comments below.
If you enjoy these English audio stories, support the channel with a like and follow for new content every week. إذا أعجبك هذا النوع من القصص الصوتية لتعلم الإنجليزية، ادعمني بالإعجاب والمتابعة لمحتوى جديد كل أسبوع.